Hi guys, hi. So it's Tuesday, May 12th, and technically tomorrow is your last day of school. Today is the last day that I will be doing a video with you in the morning. Now, I might do some other things where I send you a message on Seesaw and say, hey, I found a cool video about such and such, and I put it on the Weebly page. So I might, and please feel free to use the Weebly page if you are looking for something to do. I know right now we're kind of all maybe a little bit done and ready to, kind of take a break. But I do know that towards the end of the summer, when school is getting ready to start, that some of us start getting a little bored. And you can't wait to come back to school. And one of the things that you can do at any point this summer is you can use this Weebly page and click on the tabs and go to IXL or go to Reflex Math, or watch a Brain Pop video, or go to the typing thing, or there's a million things on here that you can do, and when I find stuff, I'll just add it on here. I do need everybody to understand, and I probably should have mentioned this at the beginning, but I will make sure that all your parents know this Weebly site is public. So that means that anybody who just happens to search something, they could come upon our Weebly page and they can see anything that's posted here. So don't post any pictures here. That's why I didn't have you put your first and your last name. I just had you put your first name on the blog, because this is not a private page. It is public. So you can just search Mrs. Shirt's Weebly and my page will come up, or it might come up in a string of Weeblies, or it might come up in, I don't know. So I want you to realize that. So if you want to send me videos of you doing any cool experiment, or you want to send me pictures of things you're doing over the summer, I would love that. But either send it to my email or send it on Seesaw. Okay, so today I'm just going to do one little thing with you. We're not going to do anything really educational. This is the time of the year where we would be doing fun, cool things, and we would be all the things we could be doing right now, and it kind of makes me sad that we're not doing it. So I could not think of what we could do to kind of end our time together. So yesterday, Monday, I showed you the experiment of fireworks in a jar. And I thought that was really fun, and it was a little educational, and you could take that and turn it into a pretty cool experiment if you wanted to. Today, I'm going to show you another demonstration, and it has a lot to do with what we did on Monday. And it is called Rainbow in a Jar. So, and again, it has to do with viscosity, but also that word dense. So dense means that things are packed. The more things are packed together, the more dense something is. So I like to think about a forest. So a forest has all the trees packed together so that you would literally have to weave in and out. So that forest would be really dense. There's a lot of trees. But out in the prairie where there's a tree here and then maybe a tree way over there, not as dense, right? Or if we want to think about people, population. Remember we talked about when we were doing our holidays around the world that different countries have a lot more people packed in a lot smaller space. Their population is more dense. It has more things more people packed together in one space. Where here in Kansas, we're a little more spread out. If you go to Wyoming, even more spread out. Okay, so that is density. The more dense something is, the more things are packed together. Well, that has to do with things like molecules and atoms that everything is made up of. So in liquids, those molecules and atoms, some liquids are more dense because those things are packed closer together, those molecules are. So we are going to do an experiment to kind of show how liquids can be more, certain liquids are more dense than others. So if they're more dense, that means they have more particles, which means they are heavier and they will sink to the bottom. So we're going to use a jar. So when I do an experiment or demonstration, first I want to talk about the purpose. So the purpose is to talk about how dense is our different liquids, okay? Then I need to tell you what your materials are. Then I'm going to go through the procedure step by step, because if I mix steps up, or if I take out steps, like I don't do every single step, will you be able to recreate my experiment? No. And maybe you want to turn this demonstration into an experiment. Maybe you want to try different liquids and see if you can predict which ones are more dense than others, and then test to see if you're right. But this would be a demonstration because I'm going to tell you what I'm doing, and then I'm just going to show it to you. So I've kind of done all the legwork. And then if you want to turn it into an experiment and play with different things, you know, maybe you want to try it with milk or soda or corn syrup, you know, things that you have in your house with your parents' permission. Okay. All right. So the things that you need for your experiment, you need some kind of clear jar. If you don't use a clear jar, it just won't have the impact because you won't be able to see the different layers. So we need a clear jar, and kind of a larger one would be better. I also am using these kind of little cups to put my different liquids in so that I have it all prepped. So the first one we're going to need is honey. And probably a lighter honey would probably be even better, but we are going to color this one. This is what I had in my house, and so cheap honey would probably be a lot better. But it's what I had. I didn't want to go buy anything else. We need some kind of blue dishwashing detergent, or dishwashing liquid. We need just regular old water. And I actually labeled this water, and I'll show you why here in a second. You will need the recipe that are the instructions that I saw online called for olive oil, but frankly, olive oil is kind of expensive, so I'm going to use vegetable oil. It's already yellow and it should work just fine, so we'll see. And then the last thing, as far as liquids is, and this I have RA here, and that stands for rubbing alcohol. And the reason, so now you can see, this is why I labeled these, because if you were looking at this, you wouldn't have any idea other than, I gotta be honest, that smells like rubbing alcohol. So I would have been able to figure it out, but this is a very easy way for me to know this is water and this is rubbing alcohol. Okay, and then the other things, so these little cups are very handy. If you only had one cup, you could just wash it in between. So that would be fine. If you only had one cup, you could use. And you will also need our handy dandy food coloring again. I am only going to use these three colors, green, blue, and red, because the only other color that's in there is yellow, but my yellow is this. And we saw on our last experiment that if I try to color this with the food coloring, is it going to mix and make it a different color? Nope, because these are water and this is oil, and those don't mix. So that's why the oil being yellow all by itself is going to work out really well. All right, I need some spoons. I also have some handy dandy Lysol wipes, which I just happen to have in my classroom. And that, I believe, is everything we need. And I've already kind of poured things out so that I could show it to you rather quickly. So we're going to go ahead and get started. I'm going to tip my camera down so that you can see a little bit easier my jar. Let's see. All right. So here's my jar. Go Bergmans. Okay, here's my jar, and the first thing that we want is the purple level. So my purple level, I wonder, I'm going to pause this for a second.